Alrighty then guys, and very much welcome to another Shakes and Fidget video in English, and today we're going to talk about update 16, the coming events including the elevator, and of course we will talk about the nerf of the berserk. So everything in it, stay tuned and feel free to add your comments in the comment section below. So on the international forum we got this post here, update 16 elevator and Soulful sale, so a lot of things to go through, but the first thing I want to go through is the update 16. There are some interesting aspects about it, and I think maybe we start with the best message. Increase the maximum number of keycards that can be generated from 10 to 15. So keycards is the free-to-play resource you have to play the elevator free-to-play, and well, it was limited to 10 in the past, and they changed it to 15. But some of you don't know, when the elevator started, they started with 15. Then they reduced it, and a lot of people in the community said, hey, that's not good. So I'm very happy that BERSERKER decided to bring it back to 15. That will give you much greater success in the elevator, for sure. I think guild fight spoiler protection is a very interesting fact, because I know a lot of people who can spend time in their chars most likely would like this spoiler protection, because then they will have to look about the guild fight and get the result. For me, for example, it doesn't matter, because mostly I skipped the guild fights anyways, as long as I didn't do any video about this. So I did not see the result mostly. I just checked the guild fight when it was popping up in the screen. But I still like that change. And I like that it will be displayed much longer after the fights, because everybody knows sometimes the post is very spammed with everything, festungs, attacks, whatever. So I like that everybody has a chance to get the fight much later, or for content creators to record the fight much later to use it as a background for any other video. Yeah, some of those fixed bugs are interesting as well, because some of those things mentioned here I could experience in the past as well, and was wondering about this. So of course there are some bugs which all of you want to be fixed as well, but it's interesting. Demonhunter got a new called ability, Elixir of Revival. People expect that the Demonhunter might get a nerf as well in the future. I think just by renaming it, it's not really giving the hint to, because the ability is still the same. So we got changed legendary dungeon. Of course, after the elevator, the new legendary dungeon will appear most likely in June during the birthday events, and you could also try to investigate what kind of legendary items are in the scrapbook with that update. And so of course the elevator changed, and I really like this one. Official managers of the Shakes and Fidget Discord now receive an in-game marking visualized by a Discord icon. I really like that, because it's a great honor if people click on your chart, they see, oh, there's a content creator sign. If they get a Discord icon as well, I just hope that those people in-game will not be messaged too much in terms of support questions or general questions. I hope the guys or the players seeing that this is a Shakes and Fidget Discord member will go to Discord and ask them, at least them, or they will go in the official Discord account. So please, everybody who sees that, if you find a player with a Shakes and Fidget Discord icon, don't ask your questions in-game. Use the official way due to the Shakes and Fidget Discord. Ask the people there, or at least write them a PN there, because as I said, the post in general is, although BERSERKER improved it, it's still a thing which can be spammed full pretty fast, and other informations maybe will not come to the right place. So don't write them in game, please. Everybody, please do it, or don't do it. Yeah, and then we actually come to the Berserk, but first let's just see what the update still brings. We have a lot of weekend events on all servers from Friday to Monday, because it's whitsun. Crazy Mushroom Harvest, Glorious Gold Galore, Fantastic Fortress, Festivity, Force Frenzy, Festival, Epic Shop, Spree, Extravaganza, and Day of Doomed Sword. So actually all important events besides the pet event. Of course, we had 2 pet events in the past. I would have liked another pet event, to be honest, but well, it's quite much. Of course, no XP. But on the new server, Europe 4, you will have XP event. So people ask me, oh, is there no XP event for server Europe 3? It will be experience event on the new server because server start is not communicated by player separately anymore. So server start is always same, like epic shopping spree, a gold event, fortress event, and experience event at least. Crazy mushroom harvest, and I'm not sure which event is as well on the server start, but on server Europe 3, for example, the official events just were a few epic event, and server Europe 3 on the same weekend had all the important events for the server start. So for player games, this is nothing they will communicate separately anymore. Server start means you will have automatically the most important events for the server start. Next week will be XP event, and for Epic Quest event without the shop, which is quite interesting. Oh no, it will be with the shop, but the quest, it's just Epic Luck Extravaganza is missing. Okay, sorry, I misread that. Okay, but it makes sense for the Tiny Toilet Time. This could be an interesting event for server Europe 4 because yeah, people could not push in the first event, but they could push in the second week on after whitsun their levels, because Epic Shopping Spree Extravaganza is a pretty important event to make push to level 200 or 220, and Tidy Toilet Time gives you an update for the mana on the toilet. So most of you should be able to reach level 100 at least by using mushrooms. So Tidy Toilet Time is an event you should take with you, especially on server Europe 4. So another interesting thing is information about the Soulful sale with special packs from Thursday to Whit Monday. This is a very interesting package for the newest server Europe 1, 2 or Europe 3. And I guess theoretically you will be able to use these packages for Europe 4 as well, but I guess that you won't see those packages as long as your character doesn't have access to the underworld. So of course on server Europe 4 you need to investigate a lot of mushrooms and a lot of work in a fortress to get the underworld within 4 days. It's theoretically possible, but I wouldn't recommend you to do so. If you can buy those souls besides your progress of your character, then you should take you should actually think really about if you want to do so, because those souls will be saved on your character, and if you get access to the underworld later, you will have your souls there. So let's see how it works. I will see it myself. Unfortunately, I can't see it right now during the record because it will be available since Thursday, and today it's Wednesday, so I cannot have a look at this. But of course, if you go to the shop and buy those packages or all other packages, feel free to use my creator code Hunrizzle, and you will support me with 5% of your spent money without paying more. So thank you everybody if you do so. Yeah, so let's have a look at the Berserk. The ability is now called Frenzy. Okay, can now attack up to 15 times in a row. Well, in English it sounds like the Berserk could not have done this before, but it wasn't limited before. So you actually were able to have an attack, and the Berserker attacks 20 times in a row. But for example, on server Europe 3, with all the dungeons I could beat, there just was one dungeon where I had a 15 combo or 15 time attack combo with the Berserk in one step. And all the other dungeons were beaten with lower combos. Of course, if the Berserker attacks 5 times, then the opponent attacks, then the Berserker can attack another 5 times, then the opponent attacks, and then you have another 5 times. So it's not limited in 15 times per attack in total. So this will not make the Berserk much weaker. But of course, the ability is not allowed to be used against mages anymore. So this is the biggest favor the Berserks will miss with that update. every berserker a new one on server Europe 4, for example, but each played berserker so far will lose this ability. And this is making the berserk generally weaker. And I mean, Blyer tested it with a cap of 10 times in a row, so they increased at least the cap a little bit. So against warriors and scouts, the berserker will not lose that much efficiency, but you will have mages who could break your streak. Because before, the most mushroom users just could try to beat a dungeon, especially a warrior or a scout, and then if a mage come afterwards, it was actually safe you would beat it. And now that things will be changed. It got a new icon. I saw it actually. I don't like the icon that much in comparison, but maybe I have to get used to it. And the general character screen seems quite nice, but the icon, maybe give me a few weeks and I will like it. And yeah, of course, this is a very interesting topic, because when they started to test the berserk, of course, I read a lot of opinions. I made a video already that I personally wouldn't like the change, and I still don't like it, because berserk was a perfect class for me to start new servers, to support small guilds, to get a good progress without that much effort. Now the effort is much higher, and if I would like to do so, I maybe would need to change the class, but there are aspects you have to think about in general. I mean, it makes the mage stronger, at least in terms of guild fights, and especially in the early and in the mid game. Berserk is not recommended to be the best PvP class, but it was very inconsistent, especially against mages. It was a 50-50 coin flip. Does the berserk rages or doesn't he rage? Now it's like scouts against mages, so of course you need to have enough constitution and make enough damage, and you need critical hits. But the mage does not do doubled damage against berserk. So in comparison to the other characters in PvP and in guild fights, it's now more balanced in general. And this is one thing where I actually like the change, although I don't like the change personally on the berserk. It makes the mages kind of stronger, and it will lead to the competition be a little bit more balanced as well, I think. I mean, a berserk was always able to beat an opponent if you investigate enough mushrooms, especially in PvP. Now with losing this ability and capping it a little bit, it will be harder in an active way to put the berserk like this. And in a passive way, if you fight against berserk, the results will not be that unbalanced anymore as well. And I already said in my video in English before that I think that the decision is made by the game devs, who of course invented new classes or are still inventing new classes, new abilities, and most likely they did not work with some of the current abilities to make them balanced. So with that change, what could happen in future? I could imagine that other classes will most likely get nerfed as well. We have to see. A lot of people will use the Demonhunter. The Demonhunter was, before that change, actually more recommended for PvE, because it's stronger against warriors and against scout than the berserk, because the ability has a higher impact. And against mages, theoretically, the Demonhunter is stronger as well, because it got the same HP as the berserk. It got the same armor, because armor is ignored, but it has more damage with the scout weapon. And it's not sure 100% of yet if the new berserk will still have the class bonus. And still the main attribute actually is fitting better. So the Demonhunter is now currently the top tier character for most of the players. It will be expensive if you want to rush as well, but at least in terms of success. And if many people are going to use the Demonhunter now, I could imagine that the Demonhunter will be nerfed as well. Also, his ability is already nerfed in a modern way, like the chance is getting lower and lower. But perhaps they could just slightly change the starting chance to be revived from 44% to 33%, for example, or whatever. I could imagine that if many people will use the Demonhunter. And I could imagine that some more people will play Scouts as well. And if that happens, I fear we could maybe see a reduced evade chance as well. That 50%. I mean, the Berserk can still raid or be in the frenzy mode by 50%. So the 50% is not changed, which is good. But still, if you would like to make the Scout a little bit weaker, because it's maybe still too strong in PvE in comparison to the other characters or classes beside the Demonhunter, it could be that they will have like the same thing with the Demonhunter, for example. So, well, it's just theoretically, yeah. But it could happen. But we will see that there won't be that many Berserks anymore. I made a survey, for example, for current Berserks, if people still want to play the Berserk. And, well, there is a percentage who actually says no, or a percentage who said they didn't play the Berserk and they will not most likely start the Berserk. And of course, I have a project, or I'm part of a project on server 7 Germany, a catch-up project, and people will go on most likely. But I will talk about this in a separate video in German, because I really think it's really important topic. And on the server, for example, on server Europe 3 in my guild, which is quite a good guild, able to be in the top 3 soon, about 50% are Berserks. Yeah? And if you check the Hall of Fames of the most newer servers, or since the Berserk was invented, you always see 30, 40 or 50% on the top list are Berserks, especially in the server start. And so on server Europe 4, or especially server Europe 5, we will see, I guess, at least 20 or 30% less Berserks, which means we will see more Demonhunters, as I said. We will see more Scouts. Maybe we will see more Bards, because I will play Bard on server Europe 4, and I know that some other people want to play Bard as well. They never played it before, just as I do. And I mean, if you played Berserk and you say, I don't want to play Berserk, then why let's just try out the Bard. Or maybe the Druid. I would like, of course, more Assassins to be played, and Mages and Warriors, because those classes are for me very great and easy to understand. I'm not sure about the Battle Mage after the rework still. Yeah, anyways. This is, yeah, the numbers will show on server Europe 4. In case if you already pre-registered your character on server Europe 4 as Berserk, and after this update you say you don't want to play the Berserk anymore, please call the support, write them down the topic, ask them if it's possible to change the class or to delete the character so that you can open another character. And if you bought mushrooms, in that case, most likely you should be able to get the mushrooms on the other character. But you have to write the support, it won't help. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Have a nice day. See you soon with another video or live stream. Thanks for all support, guys. Goodbyes. Over and out, or whatever I want to call it.